everybody. Kevin from the Wisconsin Rural Folk Society. I'm about heading north today. We're going to be heading up into the highlands to a few places that I've been before. In fact, some of the exact places, as long as the weather holds out, where I actually did my thing 2 years ago. And I'm going to kind of reflect about what I'm doing now and what I did then. So, this kind of be your introduction video to things, I guess. Hang on. Turn down the heat a little bit. It is a cold spring for us. Usually by now it's at least 60 consistently to 70. And it's 50s today. Even colder when we're heading north. But about 2 years ago, I decided that I needed to make a change, or the possibility of me actually dying was going to be a great possibility. Basically, I decided to live off the back of my bike for 6 months, and in the end, I was injured. And that's after the motorcycle actually gave out on me, because basically the thing that charges the battery with the stator. But when I was doing this, that's when everything else was going on, and I kind of saw it as the opportunity later on that I'm glad I did that, because right now I'm looking at houses. Okay, my kidneys are no longer shutting down. My diabetes and things like that are terrific, and I've lost so much of this, and I'm still working on it, and I will be working on it. I've developed better habits. You know, we don't live with a quick trip or restaurant around every corner. We eat home-cooked healthy meals. I met my soon-to-be wife shortly thereafter. And don't get me wrong, I had all the funds and resources I could have had, and I could have went anywhere. But I choose to stay here. So I camped out underneath the stars for that 6 months, and more like 4 months, and I actually spent 2 months down below, southward. 1 month in my brother's backyard, I would set up shop. The first month I would actually just stay close to work, thinking I was just doing myself a favor. No, I wasn't. It was actually easier just to travel with that 100-something plus miles a day, because the southern side of the state is extremely hostile to people sleeping elsewhere besides a home or a hotel. I eventually ended up staying in a campsite just above the Menominee Indian Nation, and that was my daily commute to work, 167 miles both ways, or one way round trip. That's what I mean. Sorry guys, I don't really try to script my videos very often. But today we're actually heading up into the highlands, and we're going to explore some roads with time permitting, because I do have to be home at a certain time. And what we're going to do there is, I have a silver blessing bowl that we are going to use for our midsummer and our all thing, or any other important event of that nature. I also have a new hollowing hammer, but we will bless that at midsummer. And basically, one of my members said to me, you might want to do your thing with that, because antiques could have a lot of bad attachments. And that's what we're doing today. I'm going up to pour an offering, kind of reconnect, decompress from all the house hunting, things of that nature, and I'm going to bless this bowl. I probably won't exactly put my words I have up on camera. And I did get a new camera, by the way. I got a nice Canon. And this thing is a beast. I can't wait to do a video with it. I'm talking on the GoPro right now, so I no longer am restricted to the GoPro or even my phone that I got, which I folk we've been talking to, they seem real enthusiastic about this. And hopefully my videos will get better with better camera equipment and more options available to me. I can probably actually sit 3 to 4 feet away and you'll be able to hear what I'm saying. You'll be able to like get good quality visual. I just gotta learn to use it. So anyways guys, it's sort of a long haul up here and it's snowing. Oh my, we're up that high. And yeah, it's a little long and haul, so I'll see when we get there. We're gonna get to our first spot, and then maybe we'll go to a few other spots depending on weather and time. But yeah, it's I see flakes. You definitely know you're in northern Wisconsin. And if you can see it out the window here, this is what months the north looks like. We're just getting into the north gate. What I call the north gate. This is the gate into the highlands. So I'll catch you guys in a bit. Please like, share, and subscribe too. It helps us out, helps me out. I don't really look and think I'm gonna make any money off the channel at all, but I do enjoy doing these videos. In fact, my other channel is on hold because I do enjoy these videos. And we're just really busy in the year. So you probably get a video or once a month. That'd be about it. I found that works a lot better than uploading every week because then it gets boring and stale. So anyways, when I get there, I'll turn the camera back on. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it. Stay tuned. Alright, we're back, and we're pretty much almost to our destination. In fact, I took the long way in because of all the logging operations in the area. And I'm kind of glad I did because I see that they have been active in here. big camera. It is cold up here. It's around 40-something degrees. I gotta watch the weather. Last time I was up on roads like this, it was raining. It was bad. And I don't know if you can see that, but I don't have my thumb lock around the steering wheel. That's just an off-roading tip, you could say. So right here is the shortcut in here, and the gates are open. So the gate should be open out there, and that's going to be our way out, because our next stop is a few forest roads up. Well, after we're done here, of course. And I'll explain why this place was my inspirational spot. So, catch you in a bit. Hey guys, we're finally here, and I spent a lot of time up here. This is my primarily and main camp. As you can see in the background, there's a large lake, and I actually ate out of this lake more times than I can remember. Really good fish, really nice clean water. So basically rocks, trees, fresh air. This is where I came to think. This is where I primarily base camped, way up in the mountains. You could say this is kind of like more of a summit, almost to the summit, but way out in there is all national forest. That is actually the boundary of the forest. So this road is all private. This is my first test of this camera, so bear with me. But the forest roads run all through here. And when we go up in there, which the roads look decent, we're going to have to be careful of other vehicles, because the bear hunters are up there baiting, they're doing their thing. You never know what you're going to see up here either. But I would set up my hammock right here between these trees, and it actually looks like somebody cut one of those trees down, which is a damn shame. And that looks like a very old cut. My hammock would have been strung right there. Yeah, it's been one of those trips getting up here, but it's worth it. It's nice, it's quiet, and we have some foraging opportunities along the edge here. And since they're so far off the road, and since a lot of the plant life is now starting to come back, I'm going to collect some of these dandelions for mead as well. There's a lake way back here that in the fall, I think I'm going to actually collect some of the water there to make a special batch of mead. See how that turns out with that crystal clear mountain water. So, but we'll get turned around here and I'll show you a few things. I don't know if you guys can see the flakes coming down. Some nights I would have had a good sized fire right here. There have been times people have come up the road, saw that everything was just sitting here. I was there on the rock, the fires were here or wherever around in here. I just burned. Nobody was going to bother me up here. I'm pretty sure you guys can see that. And yeah, this is where the Wisconsin Rural Folk Society, or at least the idea of it, was born. And at the time I didn't know, but I was kind of embracing a pagan traditionalist view. I guess you could say maybe if you really wanted to. Just didn't know it at that point. So, but we'll take you around a few spots here. And I'll just show you the views I had in the morning. Now mind you, this is May. This is really like spring. And it's around 40 something degrees up here. It's all national forest. And there is so much acreage. Now I tried getting over there, but as soon as you go up through that trail over there, it's down with the trees. They haven't taken care of it. There's a water break right there that needs taken care of, a bridge, but up in there is all swamp. So until you get probably where that second tree line is, you're not hitting dry land at all. Imagine waking up to this every morning. So I had to go to work when I was down at the campsite, which was still quite a ways from my job. But yeah, we're gonna try to make it to the top of the forest roads, and then we're gonna do our, I guess, our cleansing of our bowl, sharing a horn of mead with the gods themselves, because the divine were typically at the summit of the mountains. And even though there's a river that cuts through the rural, and on the other side is actually Michigan, we're gonna go there because that's about the highest point I think I can get up to. The highest point in Wisconsin, I think, is called Tyler, and there's a tower on top of it, so there's always people there. But yeah, I mean, just look at that. Alright, we're gonna get going up the road, and if there's something interesting, I will stop and I will show you guys. Stay tuned.